What up? How you living, Sam? It's good to see you, bro.
Hey, shut up. Let it breathe, man.
No, it just breathed.
Let it breathe.
It just breathed.
Gosh, if I do that, everybody looks at me like I'm an asshole.
Do you hear the beat drop?
Jeez.
Say hi to Nem.
What up, Nem?
It's Enum.
Oh, hey.
Oh, you hit a mood change. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Monday edition. It is the Week 7 recap edition of everything. It is Chris Sims and the Lefkoe.
Man.
Thank you. Didn't get to see you this weekend. Didn't get to watch games with you. You were doing Notre Dame. And what was I doing?
Oh, hemming wedding dresses as usual.
I was a groomsman in a wedding. For the first time in a long time,
right.
I experienced what it was like to be with a bunch of your friends, not having a television, and all on your phone going, touchdown Jags. We got touchdown Jags. It was like, oh, and everyone checks their fantasy team to see what it was.
Right.
It was a struggle.
I bet. I can't even imagine. I promise you. I mean,
we had 8 dudes around a cell phone watching Red Zone.
I mean, I was going to say, I wouldn't go to a wedding of my sibling in the football season on a Sunday, but no sibling of mine would actually have a wedding on a Sunday, so I'm a little different.
You don't go to weddings anymore.
I try not to. I try. Yeah. I'm trying to stay out of that.
I'll tell you what, though. I was taking photos, and all of a sudden, old Lefkoe's phone starts buzzing wild. Why? Because Lefkoe's locks had just come out, and that means the Facebook comments were rolling in. So let's start off first. The number 3 Facebook comment, a.k.a. people on Facebook that really want Lefkoe to just absolutely burn, but they're really, really mean. Number 3, Cole Hicks. I always pray that you don't pick my team. It's a good one.
It is a good one.
By the way, my Lefkoe locks went 1-2-1 this week.
Woo, woo. What was the one tie?
The one time was the Bills.
Okay.
They pushed.
Right.
But I really shouldn't have switched to the old Broncos. We'll get to that in a little bit later. Number 2, Dean Holden. Another week of locks ends 1-2-1. I don't bet on sports, but at this point, I'm getting comedic entertainment out of Lefkoe having to put on the confidence act each week while he growls out a bunch of duds.
Yes.
Again, fade me, bet against my bets, and you'll make a lot of money. But the number 1, Lefkoe the Mush. Thank you, Connor. Mike Scully, thanks for the picks. I'll go opposite and clean up. Mike finally gets it. I have a super magical power of picking losers. Incredibly, bet against me. But I need your help. People listening on the podcast, people watching on Facebook right now. I'm going to put a Twitter account on the screen. If you think people hate me, this guy is the king of hate. His Twitter handle is this. Captain Linsano, like the name in the water boy, Captain Insano. What I want everyone to do is just tweet at this guy, Lefkoe loves you. Don't tell him why. Don't give him any reason. Don't explain that I said this. I want to fill this dude's Twitter with so much love that he has no idea what's going on. CAPN_LYNNSANO, Captain Linsano. Every week.
What do you call this in the Twitterverse when you're throwing shade at him?
I just want to give him all. No, this isn't shade.
Words. Oh,
no,
it's not shade.
I want to give him all love.
What does shade mean? I don't even know.
Shade means that you're just like, you're just talking bad about somebody. You're talking trash.
Okay.
This guy said 10-16 on the year, bro. You're fucking trash. It's every week and it's like nonstop. Captain Linsano, all positivity. Just tweet at him, Lefkoe loves you. And that's it. I want to see how many people we can get. I want to see what his reaction is. We're going to share it later, but it's all for the
Somebody
goodness.
Tweet at him, Lefkoe, man, loves you.
I just want to give him the positivity. He needs it.
He does.
But I'll tell you what we need.
What?
Sims's new power rankings are out. Oh, man. Brace your face. Sims is telling you who's good because nobody knows who's really good right now. Let's take a look at Sims's top 5, and we have a new number 1 for the first time in a long time. It is the EAGLES Eagles.
Maybe only for a night. We'll see.
We will see. All right, so you have the Steelers at 2, the Patriots at 3, the Chiefs have fallen to 4,
yes,
and the Vikings are at 5.
Yes.
We are going to go through this.
And the Rams at 6.
The Rams are at 6, and the Saints are at 7. I have one question for each of the top 5. We'll have the Eagles at the end before Monday Night Football, but you have to only answer that question.
Okay.
Steelers are number 2.
Yes.
You watched the Bengals game film.
Right.
How solid is this Steelers team? How solid are they at number 2?
Very solid. I mean, It's close between them and the Patriots for that 2 spot. I still look at that. You know, when I think about these things, I go, ooh, who would I take in a one-on-one matchup right now?
They beat the Bengals by 15.
They're impressive. Their formula is impressive on offense. Ben, I wrote in my notes, and I know we'll talk about this on Wednesday, but he looks like he lost a little weight to me the last 2 weeks.
Could Ben have gone vegan?
And he's moving in the pocket a little. He made a few, and then when they spread the ball around to all the different targets with that run game, they're tough to beat. Lefkoe, what they do to you is when they hold the ball that much on offense, they take the opponent's offense out of rhythm. Let alone their offense has to deal with that defense and the unorthodox style. So it's like a double whammy on these teams when they go, man, we haven't been out here in 10 minutes. Oh, crap, it's these guys. And they're, what the heck is this defense? So there's a lot to adjust there.
So the Steelers' formula right now is we pound it and suck off the dude, man.
Whoa.
Just the time of the clock is just it's flying away, pal.
And who are we sucking off?
And then when they get out there, it's Ryan Shazier and all those athletes and Stephon Tuitt and crazy zones.
I mean, crazy zones.
So the way to beat the Steelers is you got to get ahead first.
It's definitely going to put them in a tougher spot, yes.
My quick question is, has your thought changed on Martavis Bryant after his recent blow-up? Someone commented on an Instagram picture saying Juju Smith is better than you, and Schuster is better than you. He said he's not better than me. I'm just trying to get mine. He recently then posted, well, Juju's really good. I just don't want to be here anymore.
Well, I mean, Martavis has a higher end than Juju. I don't know if he's... Martavis has Juju has a little bit more of a versatility role within what they do. I mean, he can work the middle of the field. He can catch the back shoulder throws. And Martavis is a freak. But no, right now, Juju is the better player, plain and simple.
I don't know if this is the Lynn Snell, but Lynn Snell has already commented, love you too, Lefkoe.
Yeah.
If that's you, I love you. Let's have some fun. If it's not, then I hope maybe someone created. It says the captain has spoken. Captain Linsato, happy to have you here. We love you. My picks suck. Bet against me. Fade.
Hey, the Steelers, no to it. Incredibly impressive still. The secondary, so many playmakers right now. I still have questions of whether they can play man-to-man. I really do. But damn, I mean, just with Hayden, of course, our man Burns.
Yeah.
You know, you got Willie Gay.
Did Hayden shut down Green again?
He didn't shut him down, no. I mean, because they really don't play man-to-man much. But the guy we have to talk about is 31, the kid Hilton. Hilton, their nickelback from Mississippi. He's a first-year player. He was on practice squad last year.
Oh, I love this. Is a Sims nugget, everybody.
He pops every week. He's kind of their underrated star of their team right now. He's can cover well in the slot, and then he's really good tackler in the run game.
Lynn Snell has said that if I go 500 in back-to-back weeks, I'll end my beef. Well, you're going to see later on, Lynn, I've changed my betting strategy. It's called not paying attention to Sims, and I kicked his ass this week. Random question. You weren't ready for it. Vontaze Burfict kicked a Steeler in the head. Le'Veon Bell says there's no place in the NFL for him. Do you agree?
I don't agree with that, no. I just saw the hit.
I showed it to you.
You just showed it to me right before we came on air because I knew he had it wasn't that egregious. Don't suspend the guy. Okay,
he's done so
but take a lot of money from him. I mean, he didn't really kick him. It was just like a foot that was in the air to touch the side of his head. I wouldn't say that was a kick, but I know I'm going to be interested to see where it goes because there were some other extracurricular activities as well.
Threw his hand up, knocked it down.
Hey, Lefkoe, watching that was fun though. I mean,
good game.
Well, watching those two teams, they're physical as hell, and watching 45 Roosevelt Knicks versus Burfict all game long in the run game. Collisions.
Bill Lazor needs to answer to why they didn't run with Joe Mixon at all in the second half.
I'll tell you why. Because they weren't going to fucking go anywhere. That's why.
Steelers defense was that nasty.
No, all the yards came in their run game on draw plays. When they got up and lined up, Joe Mixon, just play running back. Don't be the offensive coordinator. You haven't earned those type of stripes yet. And block Bud Dupree on third downs and don't let him kill your quarterback, and then we'll talk.
Patriots are number 3 on your power rankings. Sims, one question. What stage of Belichick figures it out midseason and we all feel dumb when they make it to the Super Bowl are they in? What stage?
Yeah, they're real they're real close to that stage right there where they've got it figured out.
The
I think
defense
so.
is now simplified and ready to go.
I think so. I haven't watched that film yet, and I'll give you more answers when
but you watched it last night.
But yes, to me it does. It looks simple. They're playing simple up front, and they're just going, okay, their big three in the middle are going to kind of two-gap it, but they're not trying to do anything creative in the back end behind it. And you know what else?
Tom Brady.
Well, they have 5 weeks of Steve Sarkisian offense on film, so they were ready to go. And I just don't think there's a lot there to it.
That's the other Patriots advantage is they're now going to have film on everybody.
Right. This is where I was doing the film breakdowns, and it was every play had 31 columns to fill out for every play because Belichick's going to put it into a spreadsheet form, and they could sort it however they want to figure out however they want.
Third
and he's
and
going to
6, 90% of the time. They
right,
do two
ball
tight
on
ends
the
on
left
the right.
hash, ball on the right. Back on the right in the shotgun. He's going to break it down like nobody.
So the Patriots they're almost there.
Yes, they are.
And then they're just going to go steamrolling.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to bet on them every week.
Yeah,
very excited for that.
Are they unstoppable? Like the Steelers can beat them. The Chiefs can play a shootout type of game with them, but yeah, it's scary. The Patriots are getting it together.
The Falcons, meanwhile, in your power rankings, have dropped from 9 to 14 after that 23-7 loss.
Yep.
Let's get to this. Everybody is talking right now about how the Falcons' offense has completely declined. And a lot of what they're focusing on is the scoring last year compared to this year.
Yeah.
And if you compare the first 6 compared to the first 6 this year, it's a big difference. Points drastically down by 71. Yards are down by 400. 4-2 record on the left, 3-3 for 2017. What are we blaming on, and will this get better, Sims?
I don't think it's going to get a lot better. First of all, I think we have to take into context that last year was one of the all-time great years ever by an offense. And for us to think that they were going to absolutely replicate that after losing Kyle Shanahan, who was widely known as one of the best offense coordinators in football the last few years, that's a little ludicrous. So I do think we have to pump the brakes on that to a degree.
Okay.
But I also go, it's not going to ever be quite the same. Again, Steve Sarkisian is not on the level of Kyle Shanahan, plain and simple. Steve Sarkisian was not blowing people's minds in college football with this offense.
How did he do with these stops? He was at the USC. He was at Alabama.
They're
Washington.
Solid West Coast offense type of schemes. Nothing special, okay? I looked at it and go, it's a little better than the Giants' West Coast offense. It's a little bit better than the Green Bay offense.
So you don't have a ton of confidence that he's going to start dialing up plays?
No, because what he's done is he's stolen plays from last year, what he saw in film from the Shanahan offense last year.
Running schemes.
Right, running schemes and the play-action passes, and they've tried to do that. But this is the big discussion. Most teams have all the same plays. There's no secret. There's a few offensive coordinators that'll try different things that other offensive coordinators won't. But the good offensive coordinators know how to tie plays together for a game plan purpose. And that's where when I was around Josh McDaniels or a John Gruden and I was around other coordinators that maybe weren't as impressive, that's what always jumped out to me. You got a run play that works? Well, we got a play action pass that looks exactly like that run play. We got, you're getting good at stopping both of those? Well, we have a run play that's slightly different that looks exactly like that run play, but we change it up. We have a play action pass too now that we go to the play action pass, but then we throw the screen to the running back.
And you're not seeing that this year.
No, that's the difference. This is what we do, but every week we add two or three more things to that, right? And that's where I don't see it. No.
All right, not a lot of growth for the Falcons, and it doesn't seem like that great offense will be bouncing back.
We got to talk about something for that game too. Come on, what the hell were they doing? They're trying to
talk about it.
We're here to erase the Super Bowl ghost of past. Super Bowl 51 ghost. We're going to be aggressive just like we were in the Super Bowl and prove everybody wrong that aggressive was the way to go. 4th and 7 on what was early in the game, right? It was like first quarter or whatever.
The Matt Ryan scramble.
Right, great. Did they plan that? To go,
no.
Yeah, exactly
then
right.
Get the goal line stop where they lose 5 yards. It happened again later on. And
right.
Their schedule does not get easier.
No, it does not. They
talk
play
about
some
the
good
defenses they're facing and talk about what it's going to be.
But then, the Jets can play defense. The Jets are going to be able to stop that run game. The Jets have safety, so that's not going to be
Luke Kuechly's back for Carolina.
Right, Carolina's scary.
In Carolina.
Now Dallas, they can get in the shootout with Dallas and beat them. them. I do believe that. That's a good matchup for them. Seattle.
In Seattle.
It's going to be extremely tough to do it up there, but at least their defense can, I think, slow them down, too,
Gotcha.
to where you get into an ugly game.
Tampa,
they can make it happen.
and then Minnesota.
I would say negative, Ghost Rider. I mean,
So it sounds like you're saying Jets, Carolina, Seattle, and Minnesota, 4 of the next 6 are going to be a struggle.
we're going to be really tough.
So they better pile it on to Dallas.
Yes.
Because the thing is if Zeke's not suspended and the offense isn't on the field either, that could be an issue too.
It is going to be an issue. You're right. But how do you go for it on 4th and 6 before the half? It's 10-0. Give it up. Go in. You haven't played that well, and you're only down 10-0. But you go for it on 4th and 6 and give Tom Brady 50 yards to go score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And now you're down 17-0 at a half, and the game's over. Why? Because you wanted to prove that the Super Bowl didn't matter. I mean, come on, just embrace it in Atlanta. The Super Bowl is in your mind, period. Of course it is.
Yeah.
My high school loss in 1996 is in my mind twice a week. So, of course, the Super Bowl is. I mean, come on.
Falcons' lack of creativity when it comes to game planning, and then also being aggressive to erase whatever is there, an issue right now for the Falcons.
Yeah.
You really think about that game twice?
I think about, like, tough losses all the time. It's just what you do as an athlete. I think about, my sophomore year in high school, we lost to Hoboken in the state semifinal. We were the best team in the state. It was us and them, and they beat us by a miracle.
Number 4 on your power
Number
rankings,
4.
Chiefs.
Yes.
Here's your question.
Yes.
Steelers, and then a desperate Raiders team on the road. Scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about this Chiefs 2-game skid?
I'm not terribly worried. I'm still not to that point. I guess what worries me is, I mean, of course, the defense. How can that not worry you? I mean, the amount of yards they're letting up, the big plays they're letting up. How do you get run on that like that by Pittsburgh with those guys they got up front?
Chris Jones and all
that. Yeah. The one thing I'll say, I know that they have the Nunez Roches kid, who's very good, number 99. But they got to start putting Chris Jones, Alan Bailey, and Benny Logan on the field together. They don't do that much. They try to make it 2 waves, and they separate them all. No, they need to put something dominant up there. But I do worry about with their defense. You heard me say this earlier. They don't disrupt receivers, like slot receivers, tight ends. They just let them run free up the field. And that's fine if you got a great pass rush, but you don't have that great of a pass rush right now. And Oakland's O-line showed up for the first time all year. I mean, 50 passes and no sacks by Justin Houston or nobody? Nobody on that D-line? How does that happen? I don't even know.
What did you think about the end of that game? Carr's last drive and then also all those penalties at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily that.
That was a slow death for
It
my
was
bet.
a slow death.
It was I was sitting there feeling pretty.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, what did you bet? Did you bet a lot of money on
I
that?
bet 300.
Did you bet 300 on that game? Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one. I'm heartbroken over it.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about your heartbreak.
But some of the penalties, those were tough breaks, certainly. But that's the number one thing I took away from the last drive is, I mean, they just couldn't get any pressure on Carr. He was just sitting back there doing whatever he wanted.
Yeah. Cooper, you think that keeps going?
I hope so. I mean, it looks like they at least tried to feature and force feed him.
Random question.
Oh.
Saints beat the Packers 26-14. Sean Payton offered pedicures to make sure Saints wore the correct cleats on Lambeau Field turf.
Yeah.
Question is, why would he have to persuade his players to wear the right cleats?
Because no players want to wear screw-in cleats. So,
what is the difference between a screw-in and what's the other version?
The molded cleat, right?
Okay.
So Nike, all the ones you see in the store, if you go to any athletic store, you see the Nike football cleat. The bottoms are molded. It's like literally
it's like white.
It's a plastic mold,
Yes.
right? And it's made into a cleat. But what screw-in cleats are actually big knobs that you screw into the cleat. It's a different cleat altogether, the bottom of it.
Have you worn both?
Oh, yes, definitely. And if I was playing on grass fields, I always wore screw-ins. I did not want to slip or do anything like that. Now,
So it's really that drastic of an improvement.
it will definitely help because you can then adjust the length of your cleat. You can wear 3/4 cleat. You can wear a 1/2-inch cleat.
That also sounds really dangerous.
It can be, but I've never noticed it to be. But what the main reason players don't want to wear it is because it does hurt your feet. It's not as soft as the molded cleat. The molded cleat is molded. They got a cushion in between that and the sole.
Right.
That's part of the reason why the molded cleat was invented, where the screw-in cleat is definitely a harder cleat on your foot, and guys don't want to wear that. It does, you're trying to save the wear and tear, but in conditions like that, you have to.
Shout out to Travis Klinecki, my guy from Hastings, Nebraska, weathercaster. We said, it's supposed to rain 1 o'clock. When are they ever right? He hit me up. He goes, by the way, it rained. I'd like an apology. Travis, I apologize to all weathermen. You guys nailed it 6 days ahead of time. It was wild.
Yes.
But, I mean, I just think it's funny the coach had to stand up there and go, I will get you all pedicures because it's a game changer.
Yes, it is.
It really is.
But players think like, oh, I can go out there in my molded cleats and still make it happen. And then you slip like twice and you go, oh, it wasn't that bad. But then you go back and watch the film and you go, damn, I slipped on that 3rd and 4. That was like a huge play in the game or whatever it may be. And I think that's what he was scared of. So he was trying to say, I know your feet are going to hurt a little more from the screw and cleats.
Yes.
But I'll pay for your pedicures.
I'll tell you what, the local news stations down in New Orleans better get all the video of those guys getting pedicures and stuff.
Oh, and the equipment guys hate it too. The equipment guys hate it.
Because they got a screw in each one.
They're literally got the, you know,
pliers.
The gun, you know, the bzz, they have things that can go bzz, bzz, like a car, like in the NASCAR.
What is that called?
You know, what the hell is that called?
I don't know. Come on, Sims.
A drill. The old drill.
You know, it's a thing. It's like bzz, bzz, and it's like zzz, zzz, and then you hold it. It's like
right.
Zzz, zzz, zzz.
One
spinning gun.
of those things. Yes.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Man,
I'm smart.
Did you get pedicures when you played in the NFL?
I've never gotten a pedicure. Period. And
You got Shaq feet?
Yeah. Yes.
Ew.
I mean, my feet are horrible. Yeah. And you know what the other thing that goes unnoticed with quarterbacks?
What?
We get stepped on a lot. So I've had toenails completely torn off, ripped off. My toenails are ugly.
Really?
Yeah, ugly.
Why don't you get that fixed?
My wife isn't divorcing me the way my feet look. And I don't even think you could.
She's never said, Sims, your feet are gross.
No, I don't think you could even fix it. I mean, they grow in weird.
Here's a weird question.
Right.
Which position in the NFL has the ugliest feet? Is it quarterback? No.
No.
But they'd be higher on the list.
It's offensive line.
All right.
Yeah, offensive line got a lot of ugly stuff on their bodies.
Caleb Williams says, dude gets $400 haircuts and no pedicures. Sims is a complete mystery.
Yes, I am keeping you guessing there, buddy.
And Connor McKenzie says it's a torquing drill, and Debbie Diamond says it's an impact wrench.
It's an impact wrench. Hey, my feet don't go on TV either, so you know this beautiful hair does. Sorry.
Oh gosh. All right. Vikings were number 5 on your power rankings.
5.
They beat the Ravens 24-16. Simple question.
Yes.
Are the Vikings a true contender?
They are. They are true contender. They're not going to disappear this year. Now, the one thing that semi scares me, the offensive line got beat up yesterday, and that does scare me a little because that's really what I look at them to go, this has put them over the top as compared to the last 2 years.
They had 2 big injuries, too.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Their offensive line's beat up. So what were the final injuries, though? I don't think I've even read what Riley Reef had and who else was it? The guard. The guard.
I was looking it up.
But was it bad? Did you?
Zimmer came out and said he doesn't expect it to be serious.
Okay.
And they're going to go off
that. Oh, Boone got hurt. No. It wasn't Boone. I'm
Easton
wrong.
coming back this
you're
week.
Right, Nick Easton.
Yes. Well, that's what Tommy also said. Easton is coming back this week, but he was hurt. But I think his backup got hurt as well.
Yeah, I
So
know.
you're saying that was the big difference though, between this Vikings team and last year's?
Definitely. There's a running attack, just like you saw yesterday. Latavius Murray up the middle. McKinnon a few yards here and there. They pass protect okay. Laquan Treadwell popping up a little bit yesterday, and there was no even Stephon Diggs. So,
wow.
Yeah, I think that they're real. And Case Keenum didn't even play his best. Missed a few throws yesterday. But at the end of the day, the defense, man, it's...
And Everson Griffin continues to just ball.
Defensive MVP, definite candidate. Him or Calais Campbell.
I believe, and I'm pretty sure Everson Griffin has a sack in every single game this year so far. You think the defense can carry them all the way?
I do. And it's not like it's got to be the 2015 Broncos where they got to score touchdowns in a game. No, their defense is top-notch, as good as it gets in football. And there's no denying that. And the offense will be able to do enough to hold their own.
And for all the people yelling skull in the section right now, there's only one podcast, probably other than the Minnesota ones, that both of their people picked Minnesota to win the NFC North before the season.
Yeah.
And that's the Sims and Lefkoe podcast.
Bam.
Pound it. Don't leave me.
Hey.
Speaking of really good defense, random question.
What?
With 10 sacks versus the Colts on Sunday, the Jaguars now have 33. They're on pace for 75 this season.
Yikes. That
would be an NFL record. Is this undoubtedly the best defense in the NFL, the Jaguars?
Yes. Talent-wise, yes.
Oh.
Talent-wise, they are. The scheme can bother me at times. You know that because They're way too talented to be run on the way they're run on at times. That's what bothers me. I mean, there's no way. I'm just going to pull it up while we're sitting here because I know it's towards the bottom. But the Jacksonville Jaguars are 30th in football in run defense. With that front seven, that should not happen. They do too much movement up front, just like the 49ers and Seahawks do at times. But, yeah, I think talent for talent, I mean, how can you really deny Malik, Calais Campbell, Aubrey Jones, Yannick Ngakoue, Dante Fowler, Telvin Smith, Miles Jack.
But when you factor in scheme,
yeah.
So now maybe you like Minnesota scheme better.
Yeah.
Scheme and personnel. Who's the best defense in the NFL?
Man, that is just
pull up the teams.
I know. I got them all here in front of me.
Christopher Kim saying, you do love the Steelers defense.
I do.
Leonard Luke saying, what about the Rams?
Yeah, the Rams are not quite
Tommy
in that class.
Olsen, very upset. He's a Vikings fan.
The best defenses for me in football are still the Broncos, Steelers, Vikings, and Jaguars.
Those are your top four.
Those are my top four.
Broncos, Steelers, Vikings, and Jags.
Yes, those would be my top four.
If you had to get rid of one, Vikings, Steelers, Broncos, Jags. Who doesn't make the top three?
Gosh, that is so brutal, man. That is really tough for me.
Broncos, Steelers, Vikings, Jags.
Gosh, I think I'd have to get... Gosh, I don't know who I'd do. Dude, I really don't know. I'd probably get rid of the Jags because of the run defense. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. That's really tough. You'd have to give me
So you think the Jaguars are the most talented,
yes,
but their scheme prevents them to be up there with the Steelers, who are very good at confusing,
yes,
the Vikings, who will typically never let you beat them deep because they contain everything in front of you,
no doubt,
and the Broncos, who are kind of like the Jags, insanely talented,
yes,
but they kind of leave everybody on an island, it seems
They
like.
do, but it doesn't matter. The Broncos are awesome. I mean, the Broncos, the Broncos defense is the best in football, okay? We got to get... They're not losing these last two games.
So the Broncos are the best.
I guess they don't have the best talent, though. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think the Jacksonville talent is the best.
Okay.
But I think when you take it all together, you're right. The Broncos are the best defense.
And then what is the best? What is about the Vikings that makes them so great?
The Vikings are like pretty much, they're not going to always confuse you. They do have that great little double-A package, which makes it tough. So they do what they do, and they do it well, but they throw a wrinkle or two in every week just to keep you off base. So it's not like Jacksonville really does the same stuff pretty much every week. This is what we do. We're so awesome. Bring it on. We're going to kick your ass.
And you've talked enough about the Steelers.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks for getting that out. At least you got it. I got it clear in my head now.
You feel good?
I do. I feel better. I'll be able to answer that going on forward.
It's literally what my job is to take your scrambled eggs and just process that back into a whole egg. There are some players that raise the bar, and there's some players that are the bar. Chris Sims, who was your player this week that was the bar?
Wow, there's some people to pick from, but Calais Campbell from the Jacksonville Jaguars is the guy I got to go with. Calais Campbell, first of all, in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. Might be the leader in the clubhouse right now. Goes to Jacksonville, has brought a totally different attitude to this football team, has brought size and physicality to a defense that's really been based on speed and quickness the last few years. He's a mature guy, of course, been around the league. You know that, Lefkoe. And I think he's the leader of that defense.
Yes.
And if anybody has never seen this man in person, this is the most gigantic human ever, and he's playing defense end in football. You've heard me talk about it. The first time I ever walked on a practice field, I was with the Tennessee Titans. We were scrimmaging against the Arizona Cardinals, and Calais Campbell was out there, and I ran out in the field. I said, holy crap, that's Calais Campbell?
Yes.
Now I understand why he's so awesome. He is a giant man.
I believe he has 10 sacks already.
10 sacks, 2 sacks yesterday, too.
Unreal.
Right.
I'll see your defensive lineman, and I'll raise you an offensive lineman. Raising the bar, setting the bar, a bar that will never be reached. Joe Thomas.
Good one.
I want to give him a shout out. Tore his triceps. He is out for the season, and it ended his run of 10,363 consecutive snaps, 11 seasons of never missing a play.
Man.
He never came out for a play. He was hurt, didn't come out. They were losing by 20, never came out. He literally never missed a play. It is a streak that I believe will never be broken. I don't see how it's possible to be broken in this day and age. For 11 seasons, a guy that was picked to be the absolute building block of a franchise was always there. The foundation never broke for 11 years. Joe Thomas didn't just raise the bar. He set a bar that will never, ever be reached again. Unreal.
Unreal. You're right. I mean, a true Iron Man. I mean, left tackle in the NFL and you haven't missed a snap in 11 years? Like, what? That's insane stuff. And to add on top of it, Lefkoe, like a great, great guy. Like the few times I've been around him, interviewing him, talking to him.
He had to be, when you would call games, the guy that would volunteer.
Well, he was always the guy I asked for. Like when I called the game, I was like, we got to talk to Joe Thomas. And first of all, he was one of the only good players on the offense usually when the game I was calling. But yes, and really understands the game, Lefkoe. Like really gets it. Offense, defense, who's good on the team, who's bad on the team.
Yeah.
Understands the total picture.
There's a lot of people in the comment section right now saying Demarcus Lawrence isn't getting enough respect.
I agree with that, and I wrote that in my notes today. Like, it's official now. Demarcus Lawrence is a really good pass rusher. I pumped the brakes a little on the Arizona Cardinal game. I think he had like the 3 sacks, and I was like, well, it's Arizona. Let me be careful.
Stinks, yeah.
Right. But Demarcus Lawrence, ever since that game, he's consistently in the backfield. Yes, kudos to everybody in the comment section because he does deserve more credit. He was definitely he was phenomenal, and he had really one of the biggest plays in the game yesterday with the sack
fumble and CJ Beathard.
Yeah, and then he recovered it. But that was going to be a touchdown, Lefkoe. It was 20-3. The guy was wide open, and it's going to be 20-10.
Man.
And he made Staley put him on skates.
With
to get
him
the
and
sack.
David Irving, that could be interesting.
It's interesting they've done David Irving at D tackle full time and Crawford at D end, where a lot last year it was the opposite. And I just wonder what the thinking is of why they've done that, but nonetheless, both good.
On our pick show last week, it was an epic show, one filled with head games. I got into Sims's head early. He tried to get into mine. I flipped the script. We're going to go through 5 games where we disagreed completely. And first, I'm going to give you a quick, easy win so that you're going to enjoy this segment. Let's start off first with our betting on Jets-Dolphins. $10, Miami. I saw that half point, and I picked Miami to win the game straight up, and the half point almost made me flip to the Jets. I just don't want to bet on the team that I think is going to lose the game.
Bob Bam, throw that crap up, canvasser. Booyah! Booyakasha! Yes, sir. New York Jets. Jets.
He is going Jets $200.
I am. Man.
So literally that
Half point.
0.5, I should have flipped it.
Right.
But the Jets should have had this game by a lot.
Jets knocked Jay Cutler out of the game, had the ball up 28-14, went 3 and out. Matt Moore caught fire, and they couldn't stop it. And then Todd Bowles apparently has not seen Josh McCown play football in the last 4 years to know he is one of the league leaders in stupid turnovers over the last 4 years, dating back to Tampa. What are you doing trying to – I mean, how much time was left when he threw that interception? Hold on, I got to look at it. I mean, it was like 30 seconds. It was just so stupid. You know what I want to say.
Yeah.
I totally want to go Tropic Thunder, but I can't say it. It just – unbelievable.
But you won 200 points.
I won, but man, I was feeling great. I lost the pick in general. I picked the Jets to win. That makes me more angry than
the betting.
The betting, because the betting, I know I'm not an expert, but I want to get the games right. Damn.
Caleb Williams says Sims.
Yes.
Imitate a dolphin. Oh my gosh. And then people are asking Matt Moore. Is Matt Moore the guy going forward for the Dolphins once Cutler comes back with these ribs?
Well, it's going to depend on how he plays. I mean, Cutler didn't do bad yesterday. I had my eye on that game all day long. I have not watched that film yet either, which I'll be interested to. But, I mean, Cutler made some plays. He made a few nice throws. They weren't running the ball. And Matt Moore, when he came in, he threw a bad interception to Marcus May right down the middle of the field, and I thought, ooh, this game's in big trouble. But I like his attitude. I like that he was honest after the game, saying it like, yeah, it bothered me that they signed Cutler and just passed me off.
Nice.
You know, but this is why you have a good backup quarterback.
He's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league.
This is why you have a good one. And really, my man Mike Florio made this point today, and I'm going to give him just a little credit here before I steal his idea, is he's right. Like, if they wanted to get a good backup quarterback, they weren't going to be able to sell Jay Cutler to get back on the team as the backup. So they had to make him the starter at least from there. But regardless, they're fine with Matt Moore. He can make it work.
He was good before he got destroyed in the Steelers
game. Props. Like, hurricane, player goes AWOL, you play all over the country, You stay out in California. You go to New York. You go to London. Your coach does lines on the desk, and you're 4-2.
4-2, and number one in the AFC East.
Like, I got to give him a lot of. He's a grimy, mean, never shaves, just like you. Puts his hat on.
I am cleaner than I've ever been.
I guess, but his team is like him. They just grind away at you, and they don't give up, and they're gritty.
Marcel Martins is asking how New Jack City did.
New Jack City was really good from what I saw, both of them. Adams missed a few plays at the line of scrimmage. I can't even remember off the top of my head, but they're everywhere, those two. Everywhere. I mean, they really are. I like watching the Jets defense. I mean, the Jets defense played really well yesterday. They were on the field a lot. You got to remember, they caused the interception where they got the tip and Muhammad Wilkerson caught it at the 1 yard line, and then you got to come back out there again. But the Jets D is good.
All right, let's get to two games I know you've watched the film from, and this one I'm super excited to see. Let's see how Sims and I bet Bears-Panthers. Let's see what we did here, guys. I'm putting 100 on this game. On the Chicago Bears, dial it up. Chicago is 3-0 against the spread at home this season. Since the start of 2006, they're 8-3 against the spread. They are a very good home team against a banged-up Carolina team.
Who else is banged up besides Luke Kuechly?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, one guy. The whole team's banged up.
Who's your pick?
Carolina, and ding, $300. Yes. Yes. I like this matchup for Carolina.
That was great. I can't believe we do this for a living.
I had people telling me he sounds like a window open and wind coming in.
Give me the bear sign, though. The Bears roar. We're too much for the.
I nailed that one.
You did.
When I saw Eddie Jackson at 75-yard, first one was the interception return.
No, it was
fumble
not.
return
You
was
were at
first?
the wedding. It was the fumble return.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
But when I saw that, I was like, that's what I needed.
Yeah.
And then when he got another one, I was like, holy crap.
It's unbelievable.
But the Bears are a really good team at home. They needed nothing from Trubisky.
No.
Or really their offense at all to win that game.
It reminds me of the 2005 Bears, who were the number 2 team in the NFC playoffs. They had no offense, and their defense just carried them. Yeah, they're a little that way. Their front seven can dominate. I mean, where do I even start here? I want to give Bears respect, but if the Panthers just crawled in a hole and did nothing offensively, they would have won the game 9-6. I mean, the Bears were not going to move the ball in Carolina.
Yeah.
Trubisky made the great throw to Tariq Cohen, who
went 70 yards,
who was lined up as the receiver. They were in 31 personnel.
3 wide receivers,
31.
3 tight ends, 1 running back.
No.
3 running backs, 1 tight end.
Right.
Yes, I got it.
A fullback, Jordan Howard, and Tariq Cohen as the receiver on the field with another receiver who I don't remember who it was. But, yeah, that was a big play. I mean, seven throws by Trubisky. But it didn't matter because, I mean, Carolina.
What?
Curtis Samuel, catch the option pitch. I mean, he's gonna get a first down. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And that was the 75-yard fumble return.
Yes, and then the other play is a good little play. I mean, it's a slant. Amukamara did a good job of getting his hand in there. The ball went up in the air.
You liked when Eddie Jackson was drafted.
I did. I think I put Eddie Jackson on like my preseason All-22 team. He's a good player. He can do it all.
All right, so does this give you faith that Chicago could actually make a run, or that Carolina just messed up? Because it's back-to-back losses for them.
I know. And, I really have not lost faith in Carolina. Carolina, a lot like Denver a little bit, they got to play to their strength a little, and they maybe have to be a hair more conservative on offense. They don't run the ball as good as they do, but they can literally win games with their defense. They can win games 12-7, 12-9.
Yeah. They almost beat the Falcons, and they should have. They beat the Steelers. They beat the Panthers.
Yes.
And then who was the other team they beat this year?
The other last week, Ravens in Baltimore.
No, but they beat another team at home.
Steelers?
Maybe.
No, they're 3-4.
3-4.
Yeah,
You're right.
You're right.
But they're so good at home. I'm going to bet them on every week at home. if the lines keep
maybe.
coming out like
Hey,
that.
their front seven is legit, man. I mean, that I would say that their front seven is in the conversation for the best front seven in football.
Hey, now.
Man, when you go that group, I won't name them off. Let's go on to the next thing. I can tell you're telling me to shut up.
No, I'm just looking at my sheet. Cowboys Niners.
Yes.
We disagreed, and I'm only going to show you my clip here because you were wrong, but my clip is really concise and beautiful. Let's take a look. I look at San Francisco and I think everyone is jumping on the San Francisco cover bandwagon.
Yeah.
And I think this is the week that the floor falls out. I think this is the week that Zeke takes all of that emotion and unleashes it on an Arik Armstead-less San Francisco team. He's now out for the year. I think this is the big Dallas game. And oh boy, was it. You thought that San Francisco was going to stay close.
I did.
You said they were going to be able to run the ball. Kyle would be able to scheme something up for a very simple defense.
Right.
It sounded like a few turnovers kind of swung into Dallas's favor with some short fields.
Yeah.
And then you had a Zeke 70-yard play.
You just started getting
and
it going.
You're done.
Yeah, San Francisco can't play that style of football game, especially with a rookie quarterback. They get the stop on the first drive, Lefkoe, the 49ers, and then the white boy supreme Taylor fumbles the punt return.
I saw that, yeah.
And that gave them the short field. They scored the touchdown at 7-0, and then it became 3-and-out for San Francisco, and Dallas got the ball back, and it was a steady dose of Zeke Elliott. And
it was Zeke.
the
and then a
best he
great
looked
Whitney.
all year.
He looked fast.
He did.
That 70-yard run.
Right, that was last
where
year's Zeke.
He went to the sideline and waited.
Right.
And then went turbo jets.
Right. I know.
Down the sideline.
Yes.
And he looked like he had less of a gut.
He did. He looks back to the guy we saw last year. I mean, I wrote that in my notes. And yes, the game snowballed from there. We talked about it though. Even within that, there was chances for San Francisco to get back in the game and make it competitive. San Francisco's defense is just too undisciplined. They do too much. First of all, they have 8 men at the line of scrimmage, and everybody runs at them. What's the point of having 8 men at the line of scrimmage if you're going to get run on anyways? Maybe play some pass defense and drop the hell out of there a little bit. And like Jacksonville, too much movement up front, too much stuff.
For San
standing.
Francisco.
Yes. I mean, Dallas was like, oh, okay, you want to slant this way? We'll push all of you this way.
Yeah.
And Zeke will know to go that way, and you'll have nobody there.
Right.
It's too much of that. And
Niners going to win a game this season?
Gosh, this is the week, right? Wait, I got to look at the schedules. I know they got Arizona coming up. I'm scared from my man.
Well, that's the big game. That is the team that they should beat.
It is the
with Drew Stanton.
It is the game. Let's see. It is Eagles in Philly, so that's big trouble with China.
Man.
And then it's at home against the Cardinals. So hopefully they can do it then.
Okay. Cowboys, you're feeling a lot more confident about now?
Cowboys, the defense is never going to make me feel real confident, but just like we
Zeke
talked with
starts
other
going.
teams. Yeah, the O-line was his most dominant it's all been. Zeke's been, and Dak's playing good.
Do
And
you
Des Bryant looked good.
Zeke's going to be able to play next week.
Yes.
Do you still believe that he'll play every game this season?
I do. Yes, I think this is going to go till next year. And this is another thing I always pick Mike Florio's brain about because he was a lawyer and he knows all this stuff. But, yeah, it sounds like it's going to go that way to where the courts believe that they're just you can't just suspend a guy and there was a phrase he used basically you don't get those games back is what they're saying. It was what they're basically going to say if they don't feel like you've been given. It's not like you're right. The end you shouldn't have been suspended.
It's coming out sometime.
Yeah, he's going to play the whole year.
Wow. All right, next one that we disagreed on, and we both bet on it, and we usually avoid the London game. Rams-Cardinals.
Oh, what an idiot.
Let's take a look at how we bet
This is my
Rams-Cardinals.
dumbest day.
Big week for me. I know you shouldn't bet on London games either. Well, guess what? Throw it out the window. $100 on the Rams for one main point, Sims.
Yeah.
The Rams went to London last year.
Right.
All of them.
Right.
Players, staff. They actually went there early.
Staff wasn't there. Sorry.
No, they were. I watched Jeff
Sean-
Fisher
Sean-
talk to him.
Sean McVay was not there.
I'm
Staff
not-
was not there.
But was there a special teams coach?
Sure. You got
was.
one coach. Good job. Way to go. Great insight by you.
You're a real peach.
I thought you were in my head. Give it to him. Bam, other
Wow.
side. Bam. Here we go, Arizona. Arizona really changed my thoughts a little bit with how they played last week.
I'm embarrassed by that one. Embarrassed. Truly embarrassed.
That was good strategy by me. What do you
Gosh.
think? How'd it go?
Disaster. Disaster.
This was such a big week. I don't
Did
want
you win money? How'd you do with the whole week?
Do you want me to wait until Thursday?
No, I don't care.
All right, let me just tell everybody then Monday, because your guys are going to see Monday Night Football.
I lost like 1,300. 1,400.
I gained on you
Right.
currently
Right.
$860.
Right.
If the Eagles win tonight,
Right.
we are completely tied in money.
Wow.
If the Eagles lose or don't win by 5,
Yep.
I have a lead on you in money. Flipped $900 in 1 week.
Oof.
I lost 160. I've currently lost 160. You've currently lost 960.
Gosh, I lost every big game.
Huge week.
Every big
So
game.
I think that the rule we've learned in London is if you have been there before, you are going to win. I think there's something.
Maybe there is. You're right.
And every single game is by 20 points, 30 points. There's just something about familiarity with going out there and knowing what's going on. It's too common now. The Jaguars are too good in London. Like that's my litmus test.
I think you got it. I think you're right, man. I can't deny it. I really can't.
Because that was.
I mean, I was denying you just because like their staff wasn't there, so I was trying to give you a hard time. And you're a jerk for a living, so I was just trying to get on you. But the Rams deserve respect. I think I'm officially. I mean, I made them number 6 in my power rankings. I can't deny it anymore. You know, the one thing I guess I was always going. Man, I just don't trust Jared Goff against, good defenses and things like that, like what I saw in this Seahawks game. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Jared Goff is not one of the 20 best quarterbacks in football. It doesn't matter because McVay's offense is amazing. People are open all game long. It's second to only New England where I look at it and go, the first guy he looks at's open almost every time.
I also love that they've made Todd Gurley a part of the passing offense.
Yes.
And how was he not?
What do you defend with them right now? What do you do?
Break it down.
I mean, it's just when you talk about Woods, Sammy Watkins, Cooper Kupp, Higbee, Tavon Austin, the other tight end, Gerald Everett, and then the O-line, which is solid, not great, and then McVay, who, like you've heard me say, I think McVay is officially the best play designer in the game right now, for my money.
And then you couple that with...
They turned the ball over 5 times against Seattle and had a chance to win the game, and Cooper Kupp dropped a touchdown pass.
When you factor in their defense is built perfectly to match up with a high-scoring offense. It's not a great grinded-out defense, but it's a defense that can get after the quarterback, which is what you want for a team that often has leads.
You're right. It is.
Aaron Donald being able to pin his ears back is incredible. They're built
They're going to make
ahead.
the game fast and crazy because they go, we got athletes and we got good coaches that they'll win out in those kind of situations.
The other top teams in the NFC, it would be a shootout with the Saints. The Eagles will be interesting if the Eagles, the kings of time of possession right now, could keep the Rams off the field and pound them. You have to, when we saw that the Cowboys were able to do that to the Rams as well.
Yes.
But they're really good.
They are. They're really good. They got 2 good coordinators, McVay being the offensive coordinator. And the other thing that we can't overlook with them, LaMarcus Joyner being healthy in their secondary. Ooh. Yeah, he's one of their best players in their secondary, other than maybe Tremaine Johnson. He's kind of their do-it-all guy, and he's back hitting on all cylinders. Had the interception yesterday.
Random news alert from Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report app. Download it today. My phone's buzzing all day. My brain goes nuts. Chargers starting left guard Matt Slauson now for the rest of the season with a bicep injury.
Damn.
Yeah, they have just...
It's unbelievable.
Speaking of injuries, Malik Hooker, ACL epidemic, out for the year.
Malik Hooker?
You didn't know that?
I did not know it.
Yeah.
No.
Gone. Out for the year.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Man.
Did
you see the injury?
No.
I'll look it up, but was it a non-contact?
I believe it was from a blocking receiver.
Gosh, that's a shame. I mean, that really is. He was a
I feel really bad. I didn't know you didn't know.
No, I did not. It's probably the thing I'm worst at on Mondays or even the whole week is looking at the injury reports.
No, Joseph Navarro and Blake Pacers chiming in. It was ACL and MCL.
Damn. Again, you know us. We always bag on the field turf. I also just
That's
quick.
why I wanted to bring you up.
Okay.
Because the London game was one of them.
The London game, the Miami field down in Miami, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Again, they're grass fields. Don't get me wrong. So I love
All
grass
3 of
fields.
them?
All 3 of them are grass.
We love grass here, not a big turf.
It's still embarrassing that, the Miami Dolphins played on a field that, of course, the Miami Hurricanes played on the day before against Syracuse, and I was watching that game live, and that field was being torn apart as I was watching it. I was at Notre Dame, and I was actually telling Notre Dame people, look at this. The Jets and Dolphins are going to play on this crap tomorrow. The Hurricanes and the Syracuse couldn't even stand up and run on the field, and you're going to ask professionals the next day to go on it. Embarrassment. London, let me go to that. London, it's a soccer field. It's used to a bunch of 5'9" Spanish Englanders running around that are soccer players, and like
They're playing on a rugby field.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, that changes me a little bit.
All right, but it was still crap.
It still was crap, and people were slipping everywhere.
And then Chargers, there's a very funny
It's
video
a
out
soccer
there
field
of 3 wide receivers just all slipping and falling right towards the edge, and that is a soccer
So
field.
there was the 5'9", 170-pound Spanish and Englishman on there. It wasn't used to having like Joey Bosa coming through at 6'7", 285. I mean,
Yeah.
those fields are not made for that. But yeah, I just am amazed that these owners who are worried about pinching pennies in every angle are just going to go, throw these players out there, waste guaranteed money. It doesn't matter what the surface is.
I don't understand, to sum it all up, how there is a field surface that has seemingly increased the amount of injuries, and yet teams are allowed to play on that when they preach player safety.
I hope the NFLPA makes a stand.
I don't understand how the NFL took 30-something helmets to try and find new technology.
Right.
And the one that won, the safest helmet for players, is only worn by a dozen or so players in the NFL. And it's not mandated across the league as player safety.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't understand how
Weird.
the safest options for playing surface and helmet aren't mandatory across the NFL. Why are we letting people have options for what happens to their legs and their heads? We have done science. We have looked at studies. Why is it not mandatory to keep our players safe?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Mitch Lewis had to come in here to tell Lefkoe your picks are garbage. Feel bad for anyone who's following your picks. Oh my God, they're so bad. How many units are you down? Seriously.
What's his name?
Mitch Lewis.
Mitch, have you seen my picks? Don't gamble with me, okay?
Seriously, if you guys I know that some people, when they want to know who to put on their fantasy team, they go online. They're like, let me look at your rankings, and that's not even scientific. It's like going by gut. If you're relying on anyone, like if you're the one calling up like 1-800-BETS-RE-US to get gambling advice, first gambling advice is don't bet on the NFL. If you're going to bet, probably bet on college. It's a little bit easier. But the
Well, you can
NFL
find
is
mismatches.
insane.
It is insane.
Especially when every article right now is parity across the NFL. You know when you don't bet on sports? When there's parity. You know when you bet? When the Panthers are 15-1, or the Cowboys are 13-3, or the Patriots are 14-2.
Hey,
you bet on
picking
that
the
team.
games straight up is hard. I mean, I think I had a good week picking straight up, but I can never pick the right games to bet on. It's just, period. It's tough.
Speaking of that, we have
Yes.
one last video.
Okay.
Chargers-Broncos. Let's see how Sims and I bet with Chargers-Broncos.
I had to look at this twice. I
Guess
was
what
like,
you're going to be even more shocked about?
Yeah.
$10 on the Chargers.
Oh my gosh, $10! You changed my mind forever. $10! Oh my gosh!
I think that Trevor Simeon's going to go Rodgers again. And I think you're right. And what do you need to do when Trevor Simeon goes Rodgers?
Hold on, horsey.
I think it's going to happen again.
Right. I, on the other hand,
Wow.
Ride him, horsey. Ride him. Yeehaw. I couldn't believe that the Chargers were favored by 1.5 points.
What is it like watching that?
It's embarrassing.
Your animal noises are simply the best.
Thank you.
So you were surprised they were 1.5 point dogs, and then they get shut out 21-0.
20. Gosh, that is embarrassing.
What
Yes,
the
I
hell
picked them to
happened?
win the game 21-17. It's really the same theme, except, I mean, it wasn't Simeon's fault this time,
Right.
but they just can't. Again, a little like Carolina, you need to tell the rest of the team, just crawl in a hole and let the defense play, and you're probably going to win games. I mean, here's the defense. Again, let up 251 total yards. They don't, before they get on the field, they're down 7-0.
Travis Benjamin punt return.
Travis Benjamin punt return. They get the ball back. I think they go 3 and out. San Diego's got the ball. They get the ball back, throw a big pass to A.J. Derby. He fumbles. Short field for the Chargers, and they get another touchdown.
Yeah.
And, yes, it's they need to go back to they got to realize that this defense can win games by themselves. They can win games 13-10, 16-13. They can do it all year long.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to be able to put themselves in position to play that way.
Pavel Oswald says, funny, Sims mentioned it last week. Broncos, after the bye week, have been a completely different team.
Gosh.
Why are there teams like the Saints who go on a bye and come back and win 2-3 in a row, and there's teams like the Broncos who go on a bye and then lose 2 in a row?
I don't have a specific answer for you totally to say why it just continues to snowball, but there is something like momentum is real, okay? All right? So when you got it going and everything's going and you're in a routine, and like I've told you, my 2009 season with the Broncos, we were 6-0. Everything was good. Oh, we're going to play a tough game. We'll find a way to win it this week. We took a bye week. We came back. We went to Baltimore and got drilled by Joe Flacco and the Ravens. I mean, they whooped our ass.
Yeah.
And it was like, it brought us to reality. Like, wait, we're losing? And we never could really create the mojo of how to pull out a game once again.
Right.
So I don't know what to tell you there. There's no secret potion.
Jack Farr, I apologize. The Saints have won 4 in a row. Right now, if Ingram and Bosa were their own team, they would have more sacks than 20 other teams in the NFL.
Man, that's amazing. That's amazing. They're the best duo in the game. I mean, I'm trying to watch a lot of the games at the 4 o'clock, and I haven't watched that game on film yet. But I mean, every time I saw Denver on offense, I felt like I saw Bosa and Ingram in the backfield. I mean, they're amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
And maybe this defense is getting a little better because maybe they're getting used to the scheme and the Gus Bradley, the Jacksonville, Seattle type of scheme.
Chargers on a winning streak.
So yeah, here they go. Who do the Chargers got this week? That'll be
Ooh, check it out. Pull up the team, Sims.
Here we go. I'm
LA
so
Chargers.
Good. I got it.
Okay, good.
They got the Patriots. Back to reality.
Joey Brosa, man.
Yes.
All right.
Snailed you.
So we're not believing the Chargers yet.
I'm not believing them. They're going to continue to fight and be in a lot of football games. I mean, yeah, okay, New England, I don't expect them to win that, but then they got they got a bye week, then Jaguars, Bills, Cowboys, Browns, Redskins. They can hang in there and win any of those games.
Okay. I have one last question when it comes to your power rankings. Other than win on Monday Night Football, what do the Eagles need to do to stay at number 1 in your power rankings?
Yeah, I mean, of course they have to win, but I think the big thing is for them is I just want to continue to see the same offense that we've been seeing. Downhill running, let Wentz take a few shots down the field. Within that, he'll make a few plays with his ability when nothing is there. And I just want really your secondary. That's the only thing. Like, that's what concerns me with the matchup tonight, because this offensive line with Washington is good enough to where they're not going to they're not going to get steamrolled play after play after play.
We'll see if Trent Williams plays, but that's a huge part of it.
It is a big play because then his backup's not even healthy.
Ty
The
Nsekhe's out,
Nsekhe,
yeah.
right? However you say it. But yes, like Brandon Scherf is not going to get run over by Fletcher Cox all game long. He's going to be a few times it's going to happen. And then what scares me is your secondary trying to stop their passing weapons. So that's where the game gets interesting.
It's funny. I went back and looked at that. The Eagles really dominated that first game. They barely ran the ball.
Yeah.
But they dominated the game.
Right.
But there were still Kirk Cousins interceptions and fumbles that I don't know, man.
Yeah, and you guys did
it's gonna
dumb
be
stuff.
close.
That was the game. Also, remember you threw the lateral pass when you had the game in control,
Oh,
and Torrey
yeah.
Smith didn't jump on the fumble.
Exactly.
Like, that was a weird game.
I want to do one more thing before we go, just because I think this is a good fan thing. Deshone Kizer was out partying Friday night, apparently until 1:30 in the morning. And I was torn because my first thought was, you're a rookie, your team hasn't won, you probably shouldn't be partying. And then because we're the Players podcast, I also thought he's a grown-ass man and he can do whatever he wants. And I imagine Friday night's a free night. Your reaction to the story that Deshone Kizer, and apparently Hugh Jackson found out after the game on Sunday.
Oh, well, listen, he is a grown-ass man. You're right about that. But I mean, he's not a professional grown-ass man, I'll tell you that. And you have every right. Friday, you want to go out and have a beer and do that. Listen, most of the NFL is doing that kind of thing on a Friday night. But your Friday gets done early in the NFL. You're out of the building. Most of the whole team is out by 2 o'clock. The coaches are out 2 o'clock. This is their one day to catch your breath and, like, let me go see my family since the first time since Sunday, because none of them have seen their family in 4 days. And why go out at, like, when I on a Friday night, it would be like I'd be out somewhere by 7:30 and have a drink or two or whatever.
Even when you were young.
Even when I was young. But I was back home at like 11, and I was going to sleep before midnight.
And you partied.
I did. I wasn't like a wimp, and I was the backup, the third stringer. So I had nothing to worry about. All I was doing is like walk through scout team the next day where they're going to be like, Chris, throw it to this guy. I mean, that was my day on like Friday and Saturday. I'd be like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I just don't understand that. I don't. Tom Brady, you go through any of the great quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, hey, I'm sure they've had beers on Friday nights plenty of times, but I promise you they haven't been out at 1:30 on the night 2 nights before a big game, especially when your career is not exactly getting off to the most unbelievable start we've seen.
Yeah, wide receiver Ricardo Lewis said that's not.
It's
how we do it.
immature. It's just it's not a good look. It's not, especially then you go out and throw 2 interceptions in the first half. It just looks like you're not focused.
Do you really believe that Hugh Jackson didn't know before the reporter said that to him?
I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, these guys, like, they're not babysitters.
Queen Kira Clark says, but you're only young once.
Yes, but there's like this thing called the football season, and then there's this thing called the off season, and you can get it in then. Trust me, there's lots of free
You can go out
time.
till 1:30 in the morning in the
Every
off-season.
night. I don't even care. It's OTAs. Screw it. It's just OTAs. It's a half day of work. I mean, you can do it all off season. What do you got to do it now for?
Plus, I got to be real here.
Yeah.
What's popping at 1:30 in the morning on a Friday in Cleveland?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, Cleveland.
I don't know.
But real.
I don't have that experience.
Bratwurst Fridays?
Yeah, I don't know
I'm
either.
just kidding. That was really rude.
That was rude. You're a jerk.
But seriously.
What a jerk.
Last thing, let's just get it anyway. We're going to do this anyway. I'm going to be interviewing Von Miller coming up, so listen to this in the end of the podcast. We're going to put the audio of me interviewing him. I have no idea what I'm going to ask him, so if you guys want to tweet at me, for those that are watching Facebook Live right now, and hit me up on @Adam Lefkoe or @Simson Lefkoe some questions for Von. I'll try and ask as many as possible. Duane Brown is a guy that might have to block Von. He is back with the Texans.
Yeah.
How big of a deal is that their franchise left tackle, who was holding out, is now back, and they're hitting their stride,
Yes.
and Deshaun Watson's there, and everything was already good.
Yes, me like you very much. Yeah, I mean, Duane Brown is, when he's healthy and going, I mean, he's one of the better left tackles in the game, plain and simple, period. I mean, there's no other way to put it. He's not going to be ready this week, but this is like one of those freaks of nature, Lefkoe, that just is going to be like, it's like Aaron Donald. They're going to put him out there next week, and he's going to be like, roar, I never missed the one beat.
Yeah.
I'm going to block everybody. He's a huge physical freak, so it won't take him long to get in shape and get going.
What is your official score prediction for tonight?
I picked 27-21. Fly, Eagles, fly. Caw, caw. That's a hawk. That's not an eagle. Caw.
That's an eagle.
No, an eagle's got something stronger. I can't do that.
That was great.
Thank you.
I believe that it will be an Eagles win. I just think it's going to be a 3-point win, so thus it's a Washington cover. Mush, 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 mush. I want to give a shout out to my really good friend Neil, who at this wedding, I was around a lot of Eagles fans, and they genuinely believe they're going to the Super Bowl, even though I was telling them we're Eagles fans. This never happens. Please calm down. And he believes that they are the team of destiny, and everything is falling their way, from Aaron Rodgers being knocked out to, the Arizona's good. Oh, Carson Palmer, your arm's broken. And he believes Zeke's going to get suspended. He believes this is the year for the Eagles.
You know what I said last week?
And if it happens, Neil, I'm giving you all the credit. You'll be the first one that I think really tried to sell me on it, and I would love for it to happen. I'm just going to do
What about me? I told you last week, I was like, man, I think Philly's got something special going on here. I think they have like unbelievable camaraderie.
You did say that.
Yeah, I mean, don't give me any credit. Okay. Screw you, Neil, and Lefkoe. Screw both of you.
But, man, I wouldn't know. I thought about this the other day. What would I do if the Eagles actually went to win?
Do the Jets still want to tank for Sam Darnold?
He's shaking no for Sam Darnold.
Oh, now they don't. No, a few months ago, though, man. Hey, the season doesn't even matter. We're getting Sam Darnold number one.
Jordan wants Rosen.
Oh, he wants the Rosen one? Rosen's good. He's not going to be a top 10 pick, but you guys aren't going to be in the top 10. So maybe
Rosen in New York, kids going to have too many bagels.
Oh, man. The Rosen one will be a big deal here in New York.
Oh, my God. All right, we got to wrap up. We're talking too much.
Bye. See you later.
Von Miller is coming up. For Sims.
Peace out, homies.
For Fendrick, who would say goodnight, I am the Lefkoe.
Man.
And we will holler at you for a full podcast 137. But Von Miller coming out next.